So can you take these short? Yeah, you can take breakout short. We call them breakdowns. Same principle. You want to see the exact flip reverse. So this is the scan that I have for breakdowns. The only difference is I only do options with breakdowns, especially in the bullish market, because sometimes if the market gets a bullish catalyst or econ or something hits, the next morning you could literally just be a gap and go completely through your stop and you're screwed. You can't even bag hold something like that. So I prefer to take them with options. Same idea here, except just the bottom 25% of like basically the weakest performing stocks in the market. Bottom 25%, they have options on them. They're over $1. This one I just had over 1 million volume, but I guess I could have changed that to the dollar volume. Over $4. I don't know why. Just whatever you want. And below the 50 moving average, because you don't want to just be taking some sort of pullback on a very bullish strong stock. Right? Something that's been ripping like 300% in the last 2 years and now it's just pulling back a bit this month. I don't want that to show up on the scan. So there's less results on this, obviously, because it's a bullish market. So you're looking once again for a big move down and then like a flag, and then you're looking for the lowest anchor VWAP and then the most shallow L plus algo. Same shit. The only difference with breakdowns though is that you're not going to see them just be like pinging off all the time like in a bull market. Like when SPY is moving up, you'll get like a couple a day forever. But when you have these right types of setups, they're all going to pretty much trigger off on that first breakdown day. So for SPY, basically on this day, they all went off on this day. So you need to have them ready. And the way that you can tell is this. Let me see here. Let me pull this up. Where is my market? Market. Here's my market. Okay, let me drag this over here. All right, check this out. So the way that you can tell, this is the SPY D1, but with just color coding, is this is the 10 SMA, this is the 20 SMA. Very simple. You can use whatever SMAs you want. It doesn't matter. It's a principle that applies. If the 10 SMA is angled up and above the 20, that's a bullish cross. You're in the green. Take longs. Take breakouts. Go long. If it's not above the 20, but it's still angling up, it'll go from like red to orange. Or if it's starting to angle down, it'll go orange. As soon as you start to see these candles start to touch the 10, that means the trend is starting to peter out. So right around this time is when you want to start going through all your potential short breakdowns and looking for like good charts and setting alerts. So by the time if you get that breakdown, it's already ready to go. You're not chasing anything, because on this day, you're screwed. Do not chase them. They could bounce all the way back up. They could totally screw you. And on this one, we barely got any sort of downtrend at all. So like a lot of your shorts didn't necessarily work. I think the win rate on them was maybe like 60%, something like that. And you really want like 90%. So that's the principle I use. I don't take any longs in here, but I might start thinking about longs when I go from red. I get a crazy bullish bounce candle and I go back into the orange and I start to see this 10 curling up. We're in a bull market. I might start taking longs in through there. Usually I just strangle in these zones. So I try to take short swings here. I try to strangle here. I'm sure in a bear market, like back in 2022, you probably had a lot more setups for shorts. But that's what I use. Okay, so I don't think you really need to set up for a lot of shorts right now. I was telling you guys to set up like a couple days ago when we had that little drop. But same idea. CSTM, you're going to see a lot of energy stocks that are pretty weak, and I was a bit suspicious about those because not only because of the war in the Middle East, but because if you look at XLE, look at that. Big bull channel on XLE, and that was like right around there, or I don't know. We had just bounced off of the bottom, so I was suspicious about swinging short energy stocks. But this is how I find them. You're looking for the breakout day. And you can see how volatile these are, and it's because it's a bull market. This shit's choppy. A lot of these breakdowns are going to fail and just rip your face off and come back up. If you don't get the follow through, so for example, this right through here is a level break. This is the day that you get that breakdown, but you don't get any follow through on it, or the market is not conducive to it. So for example, on this day, you would think, oh, I got to short that. But SPY is like way up. SPY is in the bull cross. Don't take these shorts. You might be able to strangle them. I'm not sure if you can strangle a breakdown in a bull trend on SPY and get a win rate. The flag might not have enough ATR to pay the debit on the strangle. Sorry, that's a rant. But anyways, you need to wait for that exact breakdown day. Okay, so you need to have like touching the 10 SMA on the SPY. You need that the first bear trend day. That's when you get those breakdowns. For example, Google was a juicy one. This was the day you got that test, but you didn't get the breakdown, and then this is that rejection, right when we came back from the long weekend, and we got that like gap down bear trend day entry right around through here. Delicious, triple on your puts. So these are the ones I'm looking for. This one's no good. Way too volatile and choppy. Too bullish in the long run. Too bullish. This thing might just bounce off an AVWAP or an SMA or something and screw you. Compression. Too bullish. Weird. No, support's too soon. You want to be able to make at least 100% on a put. Like a 2-week put. Too bullish. MRK, here we go. So this one is a good breakdown. You can see it's already been marked up, checked out by me. I don't know if I just really care about the horizontals, but you can see how MRK was a really nice short. I might not be able to send any alerts on these because of the nature of how the market worked. PEP is an okay breakdown, but PEP is a piece of shit stock. Don't trade this stock. It doesn't do what you say. It's not a good behavior. It's like ABBV or Snow. NVO, too gappy, too news based. I do have a theory about NVO though, and that's if you're in compression since this day. If you're in compression for 2 days in a row, put a strangle on it. It'll probably pay. It did this week. Okay. Like if the D1s are overlapping for 2 days in a row, put a strangle on it. Because look at the win rate on that. Right? You just got to profit within the next couple days. SWKS. That's kind of interesting. It has some bearishness here, bearishness there. There's a lot of upsloping on it though. There's too much L+. A lot of these stocks are going to have way too much L+ going on them for you to be able to catch. So you're really threading the needle shortened in this market. Now, if we get on SPY, if we get a market where it's like down, then we get a stall out on the bounce, then another leg down, I bet you're going to see way more short setups. It's going to look good. But right now, you only get one bounce every time. We haven't gotten that since 2023. Since the fall of 2023, we haven't really gotten a bear market. So until then, you're not really going to see great setups. Where did I go? SWKS, AMGN. Nope, too bullish. This was a good PDS. So if you look at INTC, we had that first break in the SPY where it's like, I don't know. You have the algo break. I don't even know where the hell to put the... Yeah. This is the lowest point. Yeah. So you broke through the algo line and the AVWAP. And you're like, oh, that's sketchy. On this day, maybe, where you break below this point, here, you could have taken a PDS understanding that the win rate's going to be lower on this. But you could have taken an out of the money PDS and have it pay like triple on you or something. Sell H is a good mover, but it can be volatile. There was a good breakdown through there, but I don't think the market was timed right. This was during a SPY bounce. And then you got this bouncing up the rejecting off of the algo and off the AVWAP right through here. That was an interesting play to take. I almost took it, but I was just getting fire hosed with short setups on last week, Tuesday. And I thought, I don't know if there's enough room there to make money on it. But there was, and it worked. Adobe was okay. Once again, maybe a PDS or something. You need to make sure that these are worth taking. Otherwise, you just sit on your hands. Like I think if you can't make 1-to-1 on it, I'm not touching it. I know a lot of you cats can trade like, make 20% here, 20% there. My option is a 60% loss, whatever. I can't handle trading that way anymore. I need to know that if this thing is just 100% loss, I can eat that next time, which means I trade less. So it is what it is. This is interesting. We have like a lower high, like a, what do you call that? Head and shoulders or some shit. But This needs to flag before you take it short. I'm more interested in taking a short out of a flag or a compression than I am taking a short out of a trend, because of the market and because of how violent short covers could be. COTY, nope. AMC, nope. Nope. I'll always go through the list though anyways. Nope. I know these charts look bearish, but I'm not interested in entering a trend. I'm interested in entering before the trend. I want to be there on day one. I did take ELF short, and ELF, I had to scratch it out, mostly because the market bounced on me, or there's econ right there. But it actually, you get out with like a 50% loss or something. I could still be holding it if I didn't have a PDS on. If I just had straight puts, I'd probably just still be holding it. But here's a nice weak trend. Then you have this like compression. The lowest anchor VWAP point was like right there, so we're already below it. We just need to make sure that we have gotten enough resistance overhead, like the opposite of a foothold, and then you have that day, and then you can take it. CRSP was another one I considered. A little tight to the big overall L plus, and I think the debit was too high, too much IV. OKTA was, it worked, but then I thought, listen, do I really want to take a bunch of these shorts, make $1.30 on them, which is definitely not 100% on an option. I'm not taking shares on this shit, because the next day you could open up here and have it rip. So there's just not enough room for profit on these, which should have clued me into just not taking any shorts at all. But, you know, if you get a good setup, you should take it. The problem with this, though, is it was a bull market. And also, how many of these would I have to take that lost? You know, if 1/3 of them lost 100% of what I risked, and then 2/3 of them won 20 to 50%, that's not profitable enough. Way too volatile. Fun though, looks fun. Okay, STNE, nope. Compressing, but just like janky shit. Moderna was a good entry. I took a strangle on this one on this day. 64 strangle, but then I scratched it out before the Friday econ like a bitch. Sometimes I'm just not sitting on things. My biggest issue right now is right before econ. The right move to make, statistically speaking, based on analysis, is to do nothing and just let it all sort itself out. If you're going to lose, you're going to lose 100%. If you're winners, your winners are going to run hard. You should just sit on everything, and you'd be surprised at how many things just end up winning. I mean, you're taking bearish charts. Even if there's positive econ, it doesn't necessarily mean Moderna is going to be affected by that. But that's a pretty good short to take. MDLZ, I don't see anything setting up here. I don't think anything's going to set up on the short list, because if it was good, it already went. It's already going now. SPR. SPR is baby BA. Don't touch it. It's shit. VRTX. There's a decent strangle on this. 455. I think it costs like $10. Maybe not. It might be. Maybe it was up here that I had to. No. Yeah, I think there was a decent strangle on that. I think you can strangle breakdowns. I don't know for sure, though. Sometimes even if you do get the trigger and you do get the breakdown, you're better off strangling it. Sometimes. Snow is a good strangle. 110. On this day, if you took the 110, which I believe was like $6 for next week's, you probably would have profited there. ADM. I like the way this is setting up. This is a nice long-term drop. This is a very large cap. So it's going to take a long time for it to... Like, I can do things for a long time and still be doing the same overall direction. Whereas a small cap one, you don't want it to fuck around that long. Oh, pardon my French. Right through there. Yeah! Wait, what's the most shallow L+? It's here, isn't it? Damn. Not lining up. Ah. Looks so juicy too. Yeah, you have to have it break through there, and it's probably going to be way too extended by the time it gets there. Close. This is interesting. Kind of like what's happening here. Probably a little bit of L plus going on here. Like over here. That's broken. Good. I think that's the most shallow one. Actually, I like that one a lot. And you probably do have room down to here. I know people are going to draw these like... That's a mistake. Downsloping algos, worrying about those when you're shorting? No. Don't look at those. Well, what's the next lowest AVWAP when you're shorting? Because this is fair, like a pretty bullish stock, but that's a big drop and a compression, and it didn't bounce at all when SPY bounced on Friday. So what's the next one? Where's the next big volume? I have that one. This is the next big one here. Oh, it's got room to the 200. I like this one a lot. It's extended though. I want it to compress down here a little bit more. I hope the market stays bullish a little longer, so it's just, you know, I can't, and then the next drop, bam, there we go. I'm going to put that one on alert. I like that. Siri is interesting too. I took a strangle on this one. Here, a 24 strangle, I think. Yeah, how the hell did I even catch that? Jesus. Yeah. I took a 24 strangle and made 50% on that one. That was good. 24 straddle. But you can see the same principle inverted. Very weak. Bit of chopping around flag. Lower highs. Break down through the lowest AVWAP and the most shallow algo. I could have taken puts, but a strangle would have paid either way, so I took that instead. Only if the debit allows you to make money on it, though. Oh, these are just ETFs. AAP was decent too. Look at this. I don't know what that line is, but we go into this view. Most shallow algo. Remember, we're here before we get the drop. Is this. So we get through the AVWAP and we get through the algo line. And I know Harry was saying, hey, make sure it's out of compression. I didn't really think this was a compression. That's why all I did was just put like a little safety call up there for a couple pennies. But that is a beautiful entry on a short. It's also weak as hell stock. AAP is just total beatdown. You know what another one is? WBA. This stock is always a good short at all times. And it's setting up again. So here, let's do this. And I'll just set an alert there. Yeah, that might set up again. Okay, where were we? AAP. Yeah. CI, too strong. Gurn, yuck. GSK. Technically bearish, good short, but it's done. It's done. You had to take it here, which was actually a great setup because that was on last Tuesday. You take it here short. Juicy. That's sympathy with Humana. HUM was also a good setup too. Like it followed the rules. The drop, the flag, everything. HUM dropped out of compression too. I think I didn't take it because of that, but I wasn't paying attention to the catalyst. XLV, HSY. Yuck. This is bearish. I like it, but you're really looking for a setup like this. Look at this. So clean, almost like a laser. You're looking for these days, which is probably September 3rd, as I'm guessing. Oh, the day after the 3rd. Yeah. That was the last big drop that we had. Right? So you can see that as we were compressing in late August, starting to overlap that 10 SMA. Uh-oh, danger time. This day, on this day, we get that like, oh, we broke the compression. But it was just end of month. And in the morning, we get that breakdown. And I thought, they're already done. But then 2 days later, you get this setup. Beautiful. Right there. And I know there's like a big like wick there, we could take a look at what that looks like. Let's see it on the 15. Let's see if that would have worked. BIIB. Yeah, you get it day one. It just goes womp. So you really can't enter until this day. And you have to use that as your stop. But you're not going to use shares. So really just do like a lot size on puts. And just sit on the puts. And then it falls apart. But then you'd have to take quick profits on the Wednesday. Oh, look at that. You probably lost a tiny bit because it bleed out a bit. Wouldn't have paid. I'm telling you, in this market, shorts are very hard to make money on. J&J. No. Maybe. That's pretty weak. It's got to... If it is going to be good, it's going to be like another week or two before it's good, so I don't need to measure that. What the hell happened there? MO. MO was good too. I believe right here, or here, I took a strangle on it, and it was very profitable. But now it's been pretty good too. Like, that's weak. There's just a lot of shit in the way. And we're basing out, and I don't know if we're going to go up and down, and it doesn't really look that bullish or that bearish on SPY. And SPY isn't, it's not in the orange. It's still in the green on the SMAs. So I didn't take it. A lot of these can bounce on you. Even if they move good, they can bounce on you. And you go, well, why don't you just take profits on the bottom? Cool, go ahead, take profits on the bottom. And then for every loser, you need to have like 5 winners. If you take them correctly, 1 winner equals 2 or 3 losers. PG, I don't like it. We're almost at the bottom of the list. IBB, TJX, interesting. We'll see. I like that. Big long bounce. Not really the ideal setup though. VOD, we talked about WBA, I like that. So really, we only have like 1 or 2 good setups right now, short. ASAN was a good short too, but you can see how all of these you would have just like scratched out on basically, or you would have had to immediately take profits on right away, which has you wondering like, should I have even shorted in the first place? So yeah, you can do these on shorts too. And you also don't need to take Momo stocks. You don't need to take crazy you don't need to take like crazy ADR stocks either too. If the options work and the risk reward works, you can do that. No problem. So even if something is low ADR, the same setup applies. Even if it's not as volatile or dramatic or it's happening on a lower time frame, the same setup applies. For example, ANF is one, PLTR. Yep, PLTR, you can take that one. Let's say the market was good 2 days ago, a day or 2 ago, right? You have really nice moves. Then you have the VWAP. You have the trend line. PLTR was foot holding, foothold, 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 foothold. You could have taken it there if you wanted to. Just the market wasn't lining up. PLTR is not very high ADR. It's high enough. The principle applies though. The breakout, I believe personally, is the best place to take entries, long or short or strangle, because it gives you the best potential of a very big move. And if you're wrong, you immediately know you're out right away. Okay, that's shorts.